Don't build an agency that you hate. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be going over why you should not build an agency if you're going to build it a certain way. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Julian Corzo and I run a content agency known as Just Create Studio. And now I'm also helping other content agency owners scale. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into the video. So there's a reason that we are starting a business and an agency, and it's to live life on our own terms. Maybe it's location freedom, or it's simply that you just don't want to work a 9-to-5 job or work for someone else. But what happens to a lot of agency owners, and I'm really seeing this in the space, is they're creating another job for themselves. And I know that for a fact because I was once there too. Because again, we want to build an agency that serves our life and not our life serving the agency. But that's typically what ends up happening. You get into the business and you build something where you're constantly stressed out, you're always feeling burnt out, maybe you're anxious, you have tons of limiting beliefs, and you're a lot more stressed out than you were when you're working a 9-to-5 job. Like, you just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you're stuck and you just can't scale. And this whole thing really defeats the purpose of why we are building an agency and why we are building our own business. And yes, those things are going to happen. Having those feelings as an entrepreneur is very normal, but we have to learn how to take ourselves out of that feeling and how to build a business and an agency that serves our life and not the other way around. You see, we don't want to create another job that we hate. So if you guys are feeling like this right now and you're a content agency owner or an SMMA owner, I'm going to go over a few things that will help fix this problem. Because again, if we wanted to create this much stress and this much anxiety, might as well just go work a 9-to-5 job. At least for myself, I know that I was destined for more. I know that God put me on this earth to create something great, create something that's going to serve my family, but also myself and my future family. And that's the type of agency that we want to build, not an agency we hate. So I'm going to go over 4 main things that you want to avoid when you're building your agency. Number 1 is working with people you do not resonate with at all, simply because they are paying your bills. And this is a massive one that I see. A lot of people are working with people they don't even like, whether it's the industry, whether it's the niche, or whether it's just a specific person just because they're paying their bills. You guys need to zoom out, all right? You guys need to have a 5-year vision in your mind, and you need to ask yourself whenever you are picking a niche, do I see myself working with this specific person, with this specific industry, with this specific niche for the next 5 years? If your answer is an absolutely yes, then you need to figure out another niche. We are here to build something long-term that's sustainable, not something that's short-term. If you're thinking very short-term, that's how you are going to fail. So how do we actually find a niche that we want to work with, that we really resonate with, but also has the capability of paying us those 3 to 4, 5, 6,000 retainers? And that's a great question, and you simply have to find the median between that. I know a lot of you guys, for example, are in the fitness space and you really want to work with fitness coaches. But the problem is a lot of these fitness coaches, I mean, there are fitness coaches who will pay, but a lot of these fitness coaches are kind of just starting out. So it's going to be very hard to charge them high ticket prices, but it is an industry that you truly love. So you're going to have to find the median that's something close within the fitness space. Or maybe it's chiropractors, maybe it's physical therapists. Because if you want to make your life a lot easier, you want to solve a problem for someone who actually has money. Because when people have money and they're willing to pay for your high ticket services, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get them results. In return, you're going to have more case studies and it's going to be a whole lot easier to get more clients, but that's a whole other point. So figure out a niche that you have some experience in, learn about the niche, and ultimately, guys, have a long-term vision. Do you see yourself working with these people for the next 5 years? You also want to make sure that you are niching down to that one specific person. You're only servicing or marketing yourself to that one specific person. And this all goes back to my formula. You want to have one specific niche, one specific blue ocean offer, and then your marketing funnel. You want to solve one specific problem for one specific person, because when you do that, you can really set yourself up as the industry expert. So in turn, it's a lot easier to target, it's a lot easier to land clients, it's a lot easier to build systems around that whole service so you can start systemizing your whole business, but also it's just a lot easier to scale, guys. Imagine if you're trying to attract everyone. You're trying to attract fitness coaches, real estate investors, lawyers, and every time you onboard someone, you have to do something custom for each person. Whether it's the video ideas, whether it's the video edits, you always have to do something custom. And what that does is it requires you to kind of get into the business and do things that you shouldn't be doing just because you really want to fulfill this service for that person and please them. Or what you could do is just serve real estate investors and you don't do anything custom for anyone because you only serve real estate investors, and now your whole system and your whole service is all catered towards real estate investors. So it's a lot easier to fulfill, it's a lot easier to scale. So in turn, you can hire people out to fulfill the service person, you can remove yourself from that side to attract, to get more clients. The second thing you want to avoid is not building out your personal brand. This is something that has been absolutely game changer for me. When I did not have my personal brand built out, my literally main source of lead flow was referrals and cold DMs and cold emails. Actually, I tried tons of cold emails. I literally did not land one person. It was crazy. I don't know how people do it. Maybe I was doing it a wrong way, but yeah, it simply just didn't work for me. So what does that do to you as the agency owner? It does a few things. One, it's a very shitty feeling not knowing where your next customer is coming from. Like if you don't have a predictable way, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go get 2 more clients this month. You don't have that certainty. You're really gonna get into like this scarcity mindset, and then you're gonna come out very needy when you do have sales calls, whenever they do come, and that sales calls isn't gonna go great, and then you're gonna have tons of limiting belief because you didn't close the person. It's all because you're in a very scarce mindset, because you don't hop on a lot of sales calls, and it's ultimately because you don't have a predictable way to get more clients. I was there too. There's literally at a point last year where I would literally only hop on 1 to 2 calls a month. And in those 1 to 2 calls a month, I sounded so like, I was almost so scared. I almost be like shaking. I was very nervous, and I was super needy, and like I was super desperate because I needed to close this person because we weren't abundant with the amount of leads we were getting in. So in return, I wouldn't close these people because I wasn't my best version of myself. And when I wouldn't close these people, I would overthink so much, and I really asked myself, if this truly for me, like, do I want to be doing this? Like, I don't think I'm capable of doing this. And that's all because I didn't have a predictable way to get more leads and more clients. Another thing is you have massive fluctuations in cash flow each month whenever you don't have a predictable way to get more clients. For example, you have a month that's like 12K, then 4K, and then 20K, and then 8K. So it's literally like boom, 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 boom. There's no consistency in it. I remember one time where I think we were sitting around 15K a month, and then 2 of our biggest clients left, and then 50% of our cash flow just vanished. And again, we didn't have a predictable way to get more clients. It was a very shitty feeling, right? And I'm telling you guys, life or just the agency has really changed when you're able to get more leads. You feel different, you operate different, you operate in a different frequency. And when you operate in that different frequency, business becomes a whole lot easier. A lot more stress is going to be relieved. I'm not saying that you're never going to have stress when building out an agency, guys. You guys are, but a lot of weight will be left off, or whatever the saying is, because you have more leads coming in. Number 3, guys, is not charging enough. This is something that I should have done a lot earlier, but is charging higher ticket prices, because that literally benefits you, but it also benefits the client. And here's why. If you start charging more, you're going to start attracting people who can actually get results for. I'm sure you guys have onboarded people and you've literally asked yourself, I have no idea how I'm going to get these people results. Like you're like, this is going to be super hard. Not a good feeling again, because then that questions you about your ability to be able to scale a business and your service fulfillment. But I'm sure when you guys do land that one specific person, you're like, bro, I can knock it out of the park for this guy. Those are the people that we want to attract more, or half of the quest to charging more and attracting those people is charging more. I know I said that a little bit wrong, but you guys get the gist. Also, another benefit of charging more is it gets your client more emotionally invested within your service, which is a good thing. They're going to listen to you more. They're going to see you as an expert more. They're going to take your advice more. Instead, if you're only charging $1,000 a month and you were trying to give these people advice, they're going to look at you like, why would I take advice from you? So essentially, it's all about positioning yourself as the person that they are able to listen to and take advice from, because they're more emotionally invested into the service. And the last thing, guys, you want to avoid is not having any systems in place. This was another game changer for my agency. Each point was pretty much a game changer, but this one was kind of crazy, guys, because I was stuck in the fulfillment for most of the time when I was building my agency. The first thing you should hire is definitely an editor. I mean, that's very basic. Like if you're editing your own stuff, like get an editor. What I was doing is I was quality controlling my editor stuff, meaning I was checking the spelling, I was checking all of this stuff. I was figuring out the video ideas for the actual service, which is crazy, right? I would sit down on TikTok and on Instagram for hours just to looking at content ideas for my clients. And I was also just sending out invoices manually. Like I didn't have anyone on automatic payments. My onboarding process wasn't systemized. My payroll wasn't systemized. Like the whole agency was just super unorganized. And if the whole agency is unorganized, then your mind is going to be unorganized and all cluttered. But the main thing I want you guys to get out of this is you need to delegate low value tasks. There's non-revenue generated tasks that you need to delegate. Now, what are those? For content agency owners, it's very simple. Quality control, the edits, video ideas, sending out invoices, payroll. Those are all things that you can systemize and delegate, because think about how much time those tasks are going to save you. Then think about how much more energy and time you're going to have so you can do more important things, and so you can focus on revenue generated activities, things that are going to bring you more money. That's typically client acquisition, that's typically client success, all those areas. The main point I want you guys to get out of this, guys, is you want to build an agency that serves the life you want to live. The life that I want to live is I want to be location free, and I want to live life on my own terms. So for example, the next few years, I really want to live that digital nomad lifestyle where I'm kind of jumping from place to place, whether it's in America, whether it's international. I just want to be able to live life on my own terms, be wherever I am, and still be able to make money so I can serve the lifestyle that I want to live, but also be able to help my parents and also just help my loved ones. But that only happens if you do certain things in place into the actual agency, or else you're going to create another job for yourself. And that's the last thing we want to do. You want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy the earth that God has designed. So guys, make sure to focus on these things and make sure to actually implement them into your actual agency. There's no point in consuming information if you aren't actually implementing that information into your current life. So guys, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.